Part of what we're going to have to do is to start experimenting with new forms of journalism and how do we use social media in ways that reaffirm facts, separate facts from opinion. By the way, it will require some government, I believe, some government regulatory constraints around some of these business models in a way that's consistent with the First Amendment, but that also says, look, there is a difference between these platforms letting all voices be heard versus a business model that elevates the most hateful voices or the most polarizing voices or the most dangerous in the sense of inciting violence voices. And that I think is going to be a big challenge for all of us that we're going to have to undertake.
What about Barry Obama's word salad in the opening there? I almost pulled out a gun and shot myself in the head about halfway through that while he was
regulating speech, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's not making clear like what he's exactly trying to say. He's like, and they always say this, oh, of course we don't want to violate the First Amendment, but also people can't just say whatever they want. That would be crazy.
Yeah. Well, if it causes violence. Well, we already have a law like inciting a riot is already a law. I don't think we need new ones, right?
If you incite, it's a very narrow exception. If you incite people to imminent lawless action, and it's from a case called Brandenburg, I've had to do with like a white supremacist rally. And the judges said what the guy did was not enough. He was sort of making a lot of really racist statements, and no, that's not inciting. You have to sort of be, really, I would say riling up a crowd or at least a couple people and sort of suggesting that they go engage in violence. And it's my theory that this doctrine shouldn't be applied, or this exception shouldn't apply at all to social media, because it's really about the fact that the speaker is sort of taking advantage of people's emotions and they're getting very excited and they can't control themselves. But whenever there's you're somewhere, you'd have to go somewhere else to go.
Yeah, there's no imminence. It's like if you're in front of a mob and you go, get that guy now, and the mob jumps on him. That's what it's about, right?
Exactly. So I think it shouldn't apply at all to social media.
All right, so let's just clarify. If I were to say hypothetically that Ryan Milton deserves to be pummeled viciously, and then a week later, Morgan slaps him silly, I'm not guilty of a crime.
On Facebook.
That's Morgan. So, it's the person who does the action.
Right, yeah.
We're all adults who should be able to control ourselves.
Right. Morgan would be guilty of a crime.
Yeah, exactly.